Welcome to Shujin Academy VGM Club. I'm Professor Tom, your faculty sponsor. That song was City Lights from Tetris Effect, composed by Hydelic. If you haven't played Tetris Effect, City Lights is the theme for the game's bustling metropolis stage. That particular level plays out as you scroll past buildings and towards skyscrapers, like you're walking through Manhattan on a warm spring night. I am a child of the 80s, which means I grew up experiencing a lot of fiction about the urban jungle, depicting the city as a hostile wasteland where people were just as likely to stab you as they were to say hello, and everyone was desperate and angry, and hope had moved out to the suburbs. This is a vision of the city where Batman fights crime. It's the city shown in movies like Escape from New York or The Warriors, and the city we visit in beat-em-ups like Streets of Rage and Final Fight, and really quite a few other beat-em-ups. But there's another vision of the city, and that's the one we'll be visiting today. This is the version of the city that's exciting and cosmopolitan. There's art and museums and nightlife and culture. It's Manhattan in the 1920s. It's the city where Bruce Wayne attends glamorous parties. It's the city we see in movies like When Harry Met Sally or Crazy Rich Asians. We don't visit this version of the city very often in video games, though. So today, I want to change that. We're going on a VGM weekend vacation to the big city. We're going to paint the town and live it up. Our first day in the city starts off with the song Choose or Lose from the Sega Genesis version of Minnesota Fat's Pool Legend, a game that's a sequel of sorts to Side Pocket. That game's composers are Masaaki Iwasaki, Taihei Sato, Seiji Momoi, and most notably Shoujo Sakai, who would go on to compose Mother 3 and multiple songs for Kirby and Smash Bros. Next up, it's Surf City from the Genesis version of Battletoads, composed by David Wise and Hikoshi Hashimoto. Weird fact, Battletoads got a syndicated cartoon show, and it was written by a man named David Wise, but that's a totally different David Wise than the game's composer. After that, it'll be Tokyo Daylight from Persona 5, composed by Shoji Meguro. That's followed up with a song from another Shin Megami Tensei spin-off. That song is Classroom from Shin Megami Tensei If for the Super Famicom, composed by Tsukasa Masuko, Tinichi Tsuchiya, and Masaki Kurakawa. After that, we'll catch a football game with Defense Theme from Tecmo Bowl, composed by Keishi Yamagishi. And after our football game, we'll hear Victory from Persona 5, again composed by Shoji Meguro. And finally, we'll relax with a drink in the hotel bar and hear Town of Toronto from Super Nintendo action RPG Brain Lord, composed by Masanao Akahori. We've got a big day planned, so let's get started. Those songs were Choose or Lose from Minnesota Fat's Pool Legend, Surf City from the Genesis version of Battletoads, Tokyo Daylight from Persona 5, Classroom from Shin Megami Tensei If, Defense Theme from Tecmo Bowl, Victory from Persona 5, and Town of Toronto from Brainlord. And now it's time for a word from our sponsor.
When Mayor Mike Hager had a problem with crime in Metro City, he went after the Mad Gear Gang himself. Now that he's finished cleaning up the streets, Mike Hager's ready to take on Metro City's other problems. He's got a plan to deal with greedy landlords.
I'll smash high rent with a steel pipe!
He'll improve our inefficient public transportation.
I'm gonna suplex every subway train that gets delayed!
Mike Hager's going to deal with corrupt cops.
Dirty cops? They get a pile driver into the unemployment line!
And Mike Hager will make Metro City schools top-notch.
Education's important, so I'm gonna help those kids hit those books!
So this election day, re-elect Mike Hager as mayor of Metro City.
For all the problems our city faces right now, I promise you this. I'm gonna take a spinning clothesline to him! I'm Mayor Mike Hager, and I approve this message.
For our second day in the city, we're going to sleep in a little because we're heading out for the evening. We'll have a relaxing brunch with Town, the port city bathed in twilight from Etrian Odyssey 3, composed by the incomparable Yuzo Koshiro. Next, we'll do some high-end shopping with Shop from Front Mission, composed by Noriko Matsueda. We'll head into the busyness of the city with Crowded Street drum and bass mix from Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, composed by Hideki Okugawa and Yuki Iwai. Then we'll do some more luxury shopping with Polonian Mall from Persona 3, composed by Shoji Meguro. It'll be nighttime when we finish our shopping excursion, so we'll hear Sleepless City Treno from Final Fantasy IX, composed by Nobuo Uematsu. And finally, we'll visit some nightclubs with Every Day is Night from Valhalla, composed by Garode. Let's go hit the town!
never felt like down, 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 down. But they're still with me. Down, 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 down. You gotta turn up, down, 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 down. I never felt like down, 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 down. I never felt like down, 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 down. Baby, stay with
Those songs were Town, the port city bathed in twilight from Etrian Odyssey 3, Shop from Front Mission, Crowded Street drum and bass mix from Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, Polonian Mall from Persona 3, Sleepless City Treno from Final Fantasy IX, and Every Day is Night from Valhalla. That's the show. If you want to reach me, you can email me at shujinacademyvgmclub@gmail.com. Find my channel on YouTube by searching for Shujin Academy VGM Club, or use the link in the show notes. I'm on Twitter at Shujin VGM Club, and on Instagram at Shujin Academy VGM Club. Please leave me a 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you're finding this episode. Look for new episodes on Thursdays whenever I get them done, which is typically once or twice a month. Special thanks for this episode goes out to fellow VGM podcaster Rage Cage of VG Emporium and entertainment podcaster Josh Grisham of Nerd Informants for this episode's political ad. You can find Rage Cage on Twitter at VG Emporium or at Rage Cage, and you can listen to VG Emporium wherever you find podcasts. As for Mr. Grisham, you can find his shows The Informants Nerdcast and It's Hollywood Calling with Josh Grisham on Spotify and iTunes and everywhere else you find podcasts. You can also check him out on social media by searching for Nerd Informants on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Special thanks also goes out to fellow VGM podcaster Jameson of Bar Silence Podcast for contributing art for this episode. You can and should find Bar Silence Podcast wherever your podcasts are sold, and you can find him on Twitter at BarSilenceVGM. We've had a good trip to the city, but it's time to go home, so I'm going to play us out with Departure from the Super NES version of Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, composed by Yasunori Shiono, Aki Zaitsu, and Naomi Kuroda. Thanks for listening. I'm Professor Tom, and I'll see you next time on Shujin Academy VGM Club.